What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Billy, and today we are talking about my camera rig. Here it is in all of its glory. Let's see how we built it. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into this. So we are starting off with the camera body. I run the Sony A7iii. I also have the Sony A7iii as a second camera body, but this is the main body. Eventually I would like to upgrade to the A7S III, just because that can run 4K 60 frames per second. This one can run 120 frames per second, which is awesome for slow-mo. The main reason why I upgraded to the 3 was because of its low light capability. Moving on to the lens, we have the Sigma 35 Prime. I opted for the Sigma instead of the Sony 35 Prime, just because of the $1,000 difference. I would love to get a Sony lens, however, they are super expensive, and for what it's worth, this has done me just fine. It can go all the way down to f1.4, and it can go all the way up to f16, so it has that big range. The one thing that I wish it did had, autofocus. You know, it's kind of slow and lags, but it's great on the gimbal. I'm able to get super smooth shots with this. 35 Prime is just all around really good lens, and it's great for astrophotography. I've been able to take some Milky Way photos. Photos of the Northern Lights have been with this lens as well. So it's an all-around great lens that is going to go on my rig. So next up we have the cage. This is a Smallrig Half cage. Retails for $40 on Amazon. I opted for the half cage just because, you know, it was half the price as a full cage, and it holds everything that I need. And I actually kind of prefer the half cage, as I'm able to hold the handle on the right side as well as having an external handle on the other. So I prefer the half cage. It was cheaper, and it's, you know, for what it's worth. Next up, we have the Smallrig top handle. This retails for $30 on Amazon. It is kind of expensive, but for what it's worth, you know, it just kind of completes the cage. So, moving on. Next up, we have the Sirui. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but this is the side handle. This retails for $27.90. This is a great universal handle. It can go on the left or the right side, as well as it has another attachment. It isn't shown in this video, but I'm able to have the quick release handle, so I can take it off, take it on with ease, and it's all around a really great handle. I use it a lot for my handheld setup. So next up is we have the Smallrig carbon fiber rod plate, as well as the rod. So these sell separately, unfortunately. You have to buy the rod separately, but it also allows you for some customization. But you can vary the length of rods you have. So if you have a longer camera, you know, you can get a longer carbon fiber rods for that camera. The screw doesn't really hold in the plate itself. I have to screw it into the bottom, but that is what's next. The whole reason why I got the carbon fiber rods was to hold my V-mount battery. So next up is we have the Smallrig battery plate. So these screw onto the end of the rods, and it holds the V-mount battery. So the main reason why I got an external V-mount battery was for not my 3, which is on this rig, but for my 2. My 2 battery, my Sony A7iii, the battery life just was not lasting, and when I'm, you know, recording a wedding ceremony, having to go back to my camera to switch out the battery mid-ceremony was a stressor, a very much stressor of mine. So being able to get the V-mount battery just alleviates and just pulls all that stress off my chest, knowing that, okay, it's running, it won't run out of battery, it's just gonna keep on going. So this was a huge investment. Which goes to the next thing, the V-mount battery. This is the newer. So the newer is kind of the off-brand of Smallrig, a little bit cheaper, but it has worked so well for me. I opted for the smaller one because this was half off. If this one, I do believe, was $80, which was on sale. We have the Feelworld 4K external monitor. This I wish I had when I first started making videos. This has been a life changer, a game changer, if you will. You know, I would have preferred to get a touchscreen. knowing now that how much a touchscreen is awesome for focus, you know, I should have gotten the touchscreen, but I didn't. I opted for the cheaper version. This retails for $130 on Amazon, but it's great. I can flip it so I can see myself. I can flip it back. You know, I can get a longer HDMI cord cable if I need it to, you know, put over here if my camera's here. So there's just, it opens up a whole new realm of videography. Next, we have the Takstar Shotgun mic. This does not sell on Amazon anymore. I got it like 4 years ago when I started doing videos, and it's a great fail-safe mic. So, you know, in the future, I would love to upgrade to a Rode mic, a Rode shotgun mic, but in the meantime, this is a great fail-safe. You know, it is not my main source of audio, but it's there if I need it. That is it for, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Oh, okay. This I didn't know you needed, but in order to get a V-mount battery to work, you have to get a dummy battery. So these dummy batteries take the shape of an actual battery that plugs into your camera, but it has a cord or a cable connected to it that can either be plugged in to a V-mount battery or it can be plugged into the wall. So you always have battery. These are, again, a purchase that I didn't think I needed, but you know, being in the industry and learning now that yes, I do need it, it's also just kind of a silly purchase. You know, like the A7iii battery, dummy battery was like $23 and the Sony A7iii dummy battery was like $35. So quite expensive for just a dummy battery, but it kind of opens up that world of, you know, now you will never run out of battery. So, you know, it's a silly purchase. It's kind of it's a dumb purchase, but it's a necessary purchase, if that makes sense. And that is the conclusion of my full rig. This did not happen overnight. This took over like 4 or 5 years of learning and Googling and researching and making sure that this is the equipment that I need. Take with this information that you will. This is just one of my rigs. I do have, like I said, a second camera, my Sony A7 II, and I rigged that up with my Sony 70 to 200mm lens. I can go over that in another video if you guys would like, but for this one, that concludes this all. I will link everything in the description box below. Link to Amazon, links to every bit of equipment that I have. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, still give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.